A new theme park is coming to New Jersey, one band is reuniting after 6 years, and one pup makes it back home safely. All that and more on this half hour of RTN News. Welcome back to a brand new episode of RTN News. I'm Victoria Todorova.
And I'm Nate Aquino, and here are today's top stories.
New Jersey is welcoming a new theme park. Nickelodeon Universe is coming to American Dream Mega Mall in Rutherford, New Jersey this spring. The indoor theme park will be 8 acres, making it the largest indoor amusement park. The park will have 27 rides, including 4 roller coasters. The only other Nickelodeon Universe is in the country is the Mall of America in Minnesota, which opened back in 2010.
If you haven't heard about the greatest reunion coming your way in 2019, the Jonas Brothers are reuniting after being broken up after 6 years. There was tension and friction among the brothers, which is why they broke up. Now, after 6 years, they decided that it was time to bury the hatchet and that this was the right time to get back together. Today, on February 28, they announced their new song, Sucker, will be released tomorrow, March 1st. Fans first speculated a potential reunion when their account on Instagram was recently reactivated. Me personally, I am very excited for the brothers to reunite and produce more music.
2 parents plead guilty to multiple charges of child abuse. On Friday, David and Louise Turpin pled guilty for keeping their 13 children captive inside their California home. They pled guilty to 14 charges of torture. They faced 25 years to life in prison. The couple were arrested in January of 2018 after police discovered their children being captive in a filthy home. The children range in age from 2 to 29 years old. They had been shackled to beds with chains and padlocks. The children were denied showers, medical care, and food. None of them had seen a doctor in more than 4 years, and none of them had ever been to the dentist. The horrible living conditions led one of them to flee through a window and call police on a deactivated cell phone. The 17-year-old planned that escape for more than 2 years. The adult children see themselves as survivors, but many of them lack the basic knowledge of life due to the horrible living conditions they grew up in. Coming up, more national news.
Hey, it's Ava, and this is Tess from Vivo's Do It Yourselfie, where we recreate the hottest looks from today's biggest music videos.
After cleaning out our closet, we have a lot of clothes we don't wear anymore.
Like this old t-shirt.
It's not garbage, it's actually a brand new rug.
And to make it, all you need to do is cut, tie, and glue.
Cut the t-shirt into strips.
Tie the strips into knots.
And glue the knots to the bath mat. I love it. Give your garbage another life.
And recycle.
Walmart has recently announced that they are getting rid of the greeter position at the front of the store. The company announced that the greeters around the country, that their positions will be eliminated by April 26 because they are in favor of more of a customer host role, and they must meet their standards of being able to lift 25-pound packages, climb ladders, and being able to stand for long periods of time. This leaves the current greeters at Walmart worried. A majority of the greeters depend on this job to pay bills, and some of them need the job because their life depends on it. The company also announced that the current greeters that they would have a customary 60 days to land other jobs at the company.
One dog reunited with its family 101 days later. A dog named Kingston is back with its family after jumping out of their truck 101 days ago as they fled a Northern California wildfire. The 12-year-old Akita was reunited on Monday with the Balajos family. The family said they never lost hope and kept posting flyers and contacting shelters. The family received a call after an animal rescue volunteer found the dog and took him to the Friends of Campfire Cats, a local rescue group. The volunteers saw a missing dog message on Facebook and contacted the family.
Johnny Manziel's time with the Canadian Football League has come to an end. The Montreal Alouettes has cut ties with him and is banned from the entire CFL. Officials say that the 26-year-old football player was violating the terms with the CFL contract. In the past year, Manziel has publicly battled substance abuse, but it is not confirmed by Alouettes if this was the reason behind their statement. The CFL claims, quote, "It was found that Manziel had contravened the agreement which made him eligible to play in the league," end quote. What's next for Manziel is unknown. He could potentially join the Alliance of American Football or the XFL. As of now, the CFL are keeping the information confidential until it is valid to release information as to Manziel's ban from the CFL.
Coming up, your local news. Don't go away.
Which planet are we living on? Right here.
What do you think it would be like to teach?
They're all a part of our
Chances are, you have no
We're
idea.
gonna turn on the lights and everybody look up.
Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places, and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable. That's what it's like to teach.
I can't change, even if I tried, even if I wanted to.
Welcome back. Here is Dan with your local news.
Thank you, Victoria. A man going by the name of L. Joshua was charged with human trafficking this past week. The 36-year-old from Mays Landing, New Jersey, had forced 3 women into heinous deeds such as prostitution in exchange for heroin. One of these women was brave enough to escape through a window and managed to alert authorities about the others. His arrest last Thursday was the end of a 2-month investigation led by the Township of Hamilton Police Department and the FBI Child Exploitation Task Force. Joshua was given 5 counts of human trafficking, 2 counts of criminal restraint, and 1 count of unlawful weapon carry. He will be facing detention hearing this upcoming Wednesday. If you've been outside at all this past week, you know it's been extraordinarily windy. But just how severe were the winds? They have been reported to cause multiple power outages across South Jersey. On Monday alone, there were 3 reports of damaging wind gusts. A tree was knocked onto the Garden State Parkway in Port Republic, blocking an entire lane. Power wires forced cars to take detours after 3 had fallen onto Route 47. Over 400 customers have been left without power in Atlantic, Cumberland, and Cape May counties. The highest wind gusts causing all these problems remain between 40 and 50 miles per hour. The South Jersey Jazz Society is hosting their 3rd annual Mardi Gras celebration on Friday, March 1st, from 6 to 9 p.m. in Somers Point, New Jersey. Patrons will be able to enjoy massive amounts of New Orleans culture. Such festivities will include a performance by Zydeco Agogo, a mass competition, a traditional New Orleans-style buffet, and more. The event will be hosted at the Great Bay Country Club, and single tickets will cost $45, while couples tickets sell for $80. Rowan University is hosting its yearly Rowan Gives Day on March 5th. The celebration will occur from 10:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. in the Academic Center atrium in Stratford. Several activities are listed, including a drawing for prizes, a donation station to give to the Rowan Som Annual Fund, and different games to play for more chances at giveaways. The association is even offering a chance for offices to win their own pizza party. They can do so by emailing a photo of their office to Gina Murphy, head of Som Advancement. Each photo will be submitted to social media and entered into a drawing for the prize. To catch up on information about Rowan Gives Day and Rowan Som, everyone is encouraged to follow their profiles on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You guys ready to give to Rowan?
A lot
Without a
happening.
doubt.
Yeah.
There's a lot happening in our local area.
There is a lot. It's pretty scary stuff, honestly. Like you were talking about over in California, there's some kidnappings going on. Over here, there's really stuff to watch out for, you know. And otherwise, the weather's been absurd. But hopefully, we'll see some brighter days ahead. If I do recall, Mr. Groundhog didn't see his shadow, so that means early spring.
Early
Yeah, I think so.
spring.
Early
All right,
spring.
I'm excited.
I'm ready
that.
for this warm weather, man.
You got Mardi Gras coming up, plenty of celebrations.
Can't
look forward
wait.
to. Absolutely.
Sounds good, Dan. Thank you. Back here is our own Lenny Schnee at the Art Gallery on High Street.
Sports Communication and Media program only launched this past fall, but with the help of dedicated faculty, it has made waves on campus already. One of the ways they have separated themselves from everyone else is by having events like Pizza with the Pros. Each week, a distinguished member of the sports communication field is brought to campus to speak to students. This past week, it was former Phillies general manager Ed Wade. For Wade, doing Pizza with the Pros was a no-brainer.
Think about it, I had met Coach Giannini a couple of times, and we had a chance to sit down and have lunch and compare notes as to where our careers have been and so on and so forth. So he had told me what he was involved in here at the university, and I thought it was a tremendous idea. And so having a chance to come over and talk to students and hopefully have some impact was it was a layup for me.
He referenced Dr. John Giannini, the founding director of the Center for Sports Communication and Social Impact at Rowan University. Giannini says these events are invaluable for students.
It's important for what we're trying to do, which is get students real world ready. One of the best ways to do that is to talk with people in the real world of sports communication. So we bring in professionals, hence Pizza with the Pros, to tell students their stories and give them real world advice. So I think practically it's really important, but then we all love sports and you get to hear all these great sports stories on top of it. So it's something that I look forward to every Monday.
The impact these events have had so far is evident in the eagerness on the faces of all students in attendance.
I think it's honestly a great opportunity, especially for young college students, to really connect with people that kind of are something that like we want to do in the future, but also seeing the type of person they are and really just going them also saying it's all about really your work ethic and how much you're willing to put into it. And I think it's just a great opportunity, like I said, to get those connections and to be able to kind of see your path where you want to go in the future.
It's fantastic. Young people like us who want to get into the field have such a great opportunity to talk to people that have been through what we want to go into, so they offer great insight on stuff like how to break into the field, how to prove your worth when you get that internship, how to even get that internship. So they're a really good time.
Giannini himself has had an impact on the students as well.
I think he's absolutely amazing. I've met with him time after time, and he's helped me personally so much along the way. As long as you're willing to work and put your time in, he will give you every possible opportunity that you can get. So
he's probably my favorite person on campus, I gotta say. I can't count how many times I've been in his office. He's been great for me personally in my career. Just in a few days I'll be at a conference that he told me about up in Boston. So I'm sure he's done some of the same things for so many other people, and I can't wait to have him impact this community we have even more.
Wade was impressed by the knowledge of the Rowan students in attendance.
I think it's great to see the type of energy that people have, in any walk of life, but obviously having spent my entire adult life in sports and baseball, it's great to see the people have that type of passion. It takes me back.
Ed Wade is yet another addition to the A-list cast of sports media professionals that have visited Rowan University with Dr. John Giannini. You can stay tuned to the Sports Communication and Media Twitter page for more information on future Pizza with the Pros events. For RTN News, I'm Lenny Schnee.
Thank you, Lenny. And here's Taylor with our world news.
Thank you, Victoria. Pakistan says its Air Force shot down 2 Indian fighter jets over the disputed border region of Kashmir in a significant escalation of the crisis between the 2 nuclear-armed powers. India confirmed the loss of 1 plane and said it shot down a Pakistani jet as it responded to the incident. The confrontation came a day after India said it launched airstrikes in Pakistan's territory in the first such incursion by the Indian Air Force since 1971. Pakistan's chief military spokesperson, Major General Asif Ghafoor, claimed 2 Indian jets were downed in Wednesday's operation. One fell inside Pakistan-administered Kashmir, while another went down in the Indian-administered region of Kashmir. Ghafoor initially claimed 2 Indian pilots were arrested and said one was being treated for injuries in a military hospital. But on Twitter later Wednesday, he said only one was in military custody. British Columbia Health Minister Adrian Dick says he expects a mandatory reporting of vaccinations to be in place for the start of school in September. All students of both public and private schools would be required to provide proof of immunization against diseases such as measles. Parents who refuse based on religious or philosophical grounds would be required to attend a course designed to show them the risks of not vaccinating their children. And finally, Israel's privately built Bereshit lunar lander is currently en route to the moon. And tucked away on it is a small disk that's crammed with 30 million pages of documents offering a primer on human knowledge. The collection of images, text, and symbols is the first step in a project to build a so-called lunar library, a part of a larger initiative to create a galactic archive of Earth. The Archmission Foundation is working on a multi-pronged approach to shrink down the records of our civilization into a sustainable format and fling them around the galaxy. On Thursday, the first disk in the Lunar Library Initiative placed on the Bereshit lander was launched by SpaceX Falcon 9 and could reach the moon as soon as April 11th. What do you guys think about that? Lunar Library.
Wow.
That's wild.
That's crazy.
30 million pages of documents.
That is literally like a Wikipedia in a document that they're just sending to space.
On the moon.
On the moon. And who knows, with space tourism that's like booming now,
maybe we can go and see it someday.
Sounds like a plan.
That'd be amazing.
That'd be pretty cool.
Bring your jacket so the moon's a little chilly.
A little chilly.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Taylor. Coming up, Brian with sports. And now here is Brian with your Rowan sports update.
This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Remember that to love America is to love all Americans, because love has no labels.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Cinderella found the pet that fits her perfectly, and you can too. Share your heart, share your love. Make a shelter pet part of your world. Happily Ever After begins at theshelterpetproject.org.
I see it!
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Your Rowan men's basketball team are the 2019 NJAC champions. The Profs defeated the Jersey City University Gothic Knights on the road by a score of 80-77. Guard Nick DePersia led the team with 19 points. This is the men's first NJAC title in 20 years. With the NJAC title in the bag for the Profs, they advanced to the NCAA Division III tournament and will host Emerson College in round 1 on Friday, March 1st at 7:30. With a win against Emerson, they will host the winner of Middlebury versus Nichols on Saturday, March 2nd. Tickets are $10 and $5 for students and kids. On the flip side, the Rowan women's basketball team ends their season with an upsetting loss to Kane in the semifinals. A career-high of 30 points for Rowan guard Dominique Peters just wasn't enough as the Profs fell to the Cougars in overtime, 77-71. Kane eventually went on to lose to Rutgers Newark in the NJAC title game. And Rowan baseball team opened their season with a 25-3 beatdown at Stevens. Profs shortstop Dylan Mendel had a big day at the plate, going 5 for 8 with 4 RBIs. Rowan jumped out to a 6-0 lead in the top of the first and never looked back. They play Messiah College at Ashland, Virginia on Saturday at 11. All right, got some March Madness going on here.
Yes, we
Rowan.
do. But
You
it
guys
sounds like we
gonna
had
go
a
to
good
the
week.
game?
Yeah, without a doubt. It sounds like we had a good week in Rowan sports. You know, we got men's basketball, men's baseball. They did pretty good. Because NJAC champions for basketball,
That's right.
Nice. Good
Hosting
stuff.
games out the SB gym. Hopefully, everyone packs the gym. Got a big crowd on hand.
Nice. This is sports related, but Philly signed Bryce Harper today.
Yeah, that's a bombshell. Very excited. It's gonna be a big summer.
Yeah, it's gonna be best summer. Can't wait for opening day.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great.
All right, thanks, Brian.
All right.
And that's all for this episode of RTN News. I'm Victoria Todorova.
And I'm Nate Aquino. We'll see you next week.